time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this video. As you guys could see, the back and forth between Eddie Hearn and Leonard Ellerbe. Now, pretty much, Leonard Ellerbe fired the shot. Eddie Hearn responded. And basically, they went back and forth. And money comes up in the conversation. Now, I can understand someone defending themselves, and pretty much to me, it's all childish bullshit. Um, Eddie Hearn said that, we just did 1 million pay-per-view buys over here. Now, if he's talking about the Canelo fight, that's not the numbers that Dan Raphael, reported. And pretty much, he was way off. Okay. But regardless, out of all the videos that I've just been making this past 3 or 4 videos, I've been telling you guys, this is the mentality that is helping to destroy boxing. Because every different stable is pretty much saying, hey, come over here. We got money. Hey, we can pay you. Hey, we have the best, organizations over here. We have the best teams over here. I don't understand, and this is something that has been going on way before Leonard Ellerbe and Eddie Hearn. But at the end of the day, like I said, for the fighter's mindset to change, the business model has to change, which is why the fighters' mindsets now are different from the mindsets of the fighters in the past, because the business model changed. Simple. We need all of this nonsense to end, but when does it end? So now, the same way you have all these different sanctioning bodies, well, yeah, these different promotions, all these different companies, you have people that have nothing to do with boxing. They just have deep pockets, and they can afford to pay fighters. They link up and merge with other people. They form these teams, and then basically, it's like, we don't care about boxing as a whole. We care about what we do over here. And every time you hear these conversations about we getting money over here, we getting money, this is, like I said, it's always been about money, but this is the very thing. This little argument between Eddie Hearn and Leonard Ellerbe, this is the very thing that I'm talking about. And it's helping to destroy, okay, the authenticity, of boxing. Nothing's authentic when it's just, well, you're a great fighter, he's a great fighter, but you don't have to fight him. Look at how much money you can make over here. If you fought this guy, these guys are not A-listers at all. But look at the money you can make against these guys. This is like, you have to understand, when these guys are negotiating and doing business with each other, this is the type of things they say. You're worried about trying to impress these fans. Look, you'll make millions of dollars. By the time that fight happens, that should be your cash out fight. Or, that type of thing. Look, I don't see how any one person can take pride in feeling that another company is failing or suffering. Example of something. If Leonard Ellerbe got fired by TNT and, powers that be over there said, we don't need you anymore. Al Heyman, whatever. And let's say he went to Top Rank. You know what he'll start doing? He'll start trying to expose and say take shots at Floyd and what they're doing over there. Now, all of a sudden, he'll praise Top Rank because that's where he's employed. You understand what I'm saying? If Eddie Hearn started working for Showtime, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go over there and, some people have more class than others. Some people just leave that behind. What we're doing now is what's important. But at the end of the day, it's like everything is money, 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 to where when you are dealing with people like that, it's evident. It's not legacy for them. It's not. We don't need 50 people trying to be Floyd Mayweather, especially when you haven't put half the work in that Floyd put in. You understand what I mean? But yet, you have this ego because you have a belt across your shoulder and an arrogant smirk on your face. You think that you're some big superstar. That's not the way things go. Okay? And, just to add to that, look at what happened with, the pay-per-view with Andy Ruiz, how Luis Ortiz, how the numbers went down. The numbers with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola, 125,000 pay-per-view buys. That's low. We're not talking about some up-and-coming fighter who is not well known and happens to just headline a pay-per-view for the first time. We're talking about the former heavyweight champion of the world. Andy Ruiz has graced the ring with Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker. Luis Ortiz have graced the ring with Deontay Wilder. Yet, the two of them together could only come up with 40,000. You understand what I mean? Chris Arreola, everything he's done was in the past. He's never became world champion. He's always come up short. He lost to Klitschko. He lost to Bermans to Vern twice. So, he doesn't really have a stellar resume. But somehow people pump these guys up to be better than what they were. And they never accomplished anything other than being a challenger. So these guys, the numbers involving a fight with Andy Ruiz went from 125,000 pay-per-view buys to 40,000. Canelo versus Triple G. Well, their first two was like 1 million pay-per-view buys or something like that. They had, both fights. Both fights are like 1 million pay-per-view buys, according to the stats that they have. And it went from that to 500,000. The same two guys. Yet, Caleb Plant, who most people would say, oh, Triple G's better than Caleb. But Canelo and Caleb did 800,000. What's happening in boxing, yo? Like, what's really happening? What's going on? Okay? Just saying. I wanted to just bring this to you guys' attention. I know a lot of you get it, but then there's some people who don't think about these things, and it's, damn, you know what? Yeah, look at the argument. They're not talking about who has the better fighters overall. I want my guys to fight your guy. No, it's basically, I'm sure Eddie Hearn is down. Hey, let's make the fights. We know that TMT want to keep everything in-house. They came out and said it, which I think is bullshit. But this is my point. All of these people act like they have a house full of fighters, a nice big stable where we can afford to gamble. We don't have to have this guy and that guy. We got these guys, and these guys can take boxing and lead it. No. None of you stables have great fighters in every weight class. You don't have enough fighters where you can just put great fights on. You need the right dance partners, and they're not all in your stable. This is crazy. This sounds like some WCW versus WWE versus ECW versus Impact versus AEW. Like, damn, Vince McMahon doesn't love wrestling. He loved the WWE. He loves his company. He doesn't love AEW. He doesn't love competition. No, he doesn't. That's why he tries to take those stars once their contracts are up, because he doesn't want the competition. He doesn't want that. Otherwise, he'd say, no, we're good over here. You got your guys, we got our guys. No, he loves the WWE. And this is what the boxing fans, the casuals, are coming up, doing. They're choosing sides instead of they instead of looking at the fighters and saying, hey, you know what? He's a great fighter. No. Oh, he's PBC. Oh, that's Matcher. Oh, no, we can't cheer for him. Nah, we gotta no. This is what they're doing. And ignorant, stupid shit like this, petty nonsense arguments. This is a 59-year-old man arguing with Eddie Hearn, who's in his 40s or whatever, but two grown-ass men. How about, hey, listen, Leonard Ellerbe, you big glycerin bald head motherfucker, go fuck yourself. How about that? Stay out of our business. Simple. Just saying. It's this whole back and forth with we make money, we sold this amount, we did this, we did that. Well, do something for women's boxing. Why did it take Jake Paul to come in and make sure that the females in boxing get paid more? Why are none of these people around doing, you want to be responsible for everything that's great that's happening or good that's happening, which is very limited in terms of, as far as great, no. Good, yeah, there's some good things going on. But when you talk about how much money you generate, but you're not even talking about the fighters you have. You're not even, you can't even, the whole thing with that is, you can't think of any monumental things you're doing, any real significance, anything really big. You understand what I'm saying? Look, and I like this. Why does Clarissa Shields have to go to the UK to be a part of a huge card? Why nobody in the US is saying, hey, no, we're going to take, no, this is my point. It's always a stable thing. It's not just boxing as a whole. We need to come together. We need to come together. We are all in boxing, one way or another, and this is how we make it work. We want to work with you. You have great fighters. We have great fighters. Let's make this happen. Whatever happened to that? This is what I'm talking about. So for all of this choosing sides and helping to separate, what are we, Bloods and Crips, MS-13, Latin Kings, what is going on? What's going on? Like, what's happening in boxing? You don't see the fucking UFC, oh, Dana White has a stable over here. This person involved in the UFC has a stable. No, you have different camps. But the point is, no, we all want to come together and fight to be the best. We want to come together and fight to put the best cards together so the fans are not being cheated. So it makes it a treat for them. The next time they know that we have an event, I'm there. Hey, I'm ordering that. Hey, I'm tuning in. That's what it should be. But these people, so when you hear me say the people in boxing is boxing's worst enemies, that's exactly what I mean. It has nothing to do with the UFC, bare knuckle, Muay Thai, kickboxing, nothing. It's people in boxing that are successful are also helping to keep boxing at a certain point. Stop trying to find the next Floyd by lying to the people trying to say that this guy's better than Floyd. Stop trying to find, at some point, they're going to try to find the next Canelo. Oh, yeah, he's way better than Canelo. The same way how they tried to say Canelo was better than Floyd, they're going to try to find a new Canelo. They're going to try to find a new AJ, a new Usyk. This is what happens. They're going to try to find a new Tyson Fury. But don't lie to the people. And we all should have common sense to know what we're looking at. You understand what I'm saying? It's boxing. They need to get this shit together. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.